Something huge happened yesterday, people. Huge isn't the right word to use to describe it. Bigger than big. How about monumental? And I'm thinking you guys missed it. Could be second only to the Alien Agenda Disclosure Project. Okay, I have no explanation other than old age why in yesterday's audio I looked right at the calendar and I declared the date as November 13. Amazing. And I'd be hard-pressed to defend against one of my many skeptics and detractors of my audios, people that, like critics who like to tell me their 4-year-old granddaughter can make a better video than me, quote-unquote. If they said, the dumb effer, that's me, your ever-flexible, fluid, and most humble messenger, can't even get the date right, what makes you think anything else he says is accurate? Damn, people, that is a good question. I'll simply say it's an old age thing and move on to today's audio. But will it be accurate? Well, stick with me, people, because I'm just getting started on Thursday, taking my time here looking at this date closely. Oh, yep, Thursday the 4th of November 2021, or so they'd have us believe. The title of today's audio, Gfanz. Recognize that, people? If not, why not? It's an acronym like Navy. You know, Navy, never again volunteers yourself. Those 5 letters stand for something. And I'll introduce you today something that is extremely important, like I said, huge, earth-shaking, monumental, important to all of us. And it comes from a little-known but powerful bankster, those dirty bastards, who was at the time the UN, the Blue Helmet people, COP26, who was at that conference, the COP26 Climate Change Conference. Worst problem facing mankind, people, climate change. So, let's go to their Gfanz website. And it's located at www.gfanz0.com. Check it out. Read their opening page. Gfanz stands for Glasgow Financial Alliance for Net Zero. Why Glasgow, people? Glasgow, Scotland? Well, where the hell do you think the UN's conference on climate change is currently being held? And they might have ended it yesterday. I'm not clear on that. Bringing together the financial sector to accelerate the transition to a net zero economy. What are they net zeroing, people? Carbon. Achieving the objective of the Paris Agreement. Well, I thought Trumpster got us out of that. To limit global temperature increases to 1.5 degrees centigrade from pre-industrial levels requires a whole economy transition. Pre-industrial levels, people? I mean, before the Industrial Revolution? I mean, we're going back 150 years. What in the F is going on here? You get this word? Every company, bank, insurer, and investor will need to adjust their business models, develop credible plans for the transition to a low-carbon, climate-resilient future, and then implement those plans. Private finance can help fund private sector initiatives and turn billions committed to climate investment through public channels into trillions of total climate investment. Current rate, about 130 trillion. I didn't say billion, I said trillion with a T. That is a lot of financial firepower, people. But unlocking systemic change will require collaborative, ambitious commitments and near-term action across the entire financial system. Get those words, entire and every. Gfanz is a global coalition of leading financial institutions committed to accelerating the decarbonization of the economy. Man, I can't stress that enough. Just one more paragraph. Gfanz announces new milestones at COP26, the UN, the Blue Helmet People's Climate Change Conference at Glasgow, Scotland. Amount of finance committed to net zero under UN campaign now at scale required for a successful transition. Boy, I'll say 130 trillion. As Gfanz also announces, Michael R. Bloomberg and Mary Shapiro will join as co-chair and vice chair respectively, alongside current Gfanz leaders Mark Carney and Nigel Topping. Hang on just a second here. Cigarettes are killing me. Okay. Now, Mark Carney. Ring any bells? Mover and shaker in your books like, say, Dr. Fauci, Bill Gates, Rothschilds, Rockefellers. I think I'd heard of him before when he was with the privately owned Bank of England located in the city of London. A private nation within a nation, people. The city of London is not part of England. It's very much like the Vatican of Rome. God save the Queen, mate? Bullshit. She bows to the Lord Mayor of London. However, I did not know Mark Carney moved to Canada to head up Canada's private central bank. What better guy to head up Gfanz, don't you think? Employing the old saying, you are known by the company you keep. This dude, Carney, hangs not only with Michael Bloomberg and Mary Shapiro, but little Marky Zuckerberg. Wonder if Mr. Carney knows our man Murray. Jury's not in yet, people, but if Carney isn't related to Murray, he sure as hell should be. And remember this one? No taxation without representation. One of the war cries during the American Revolutionary War. Guess what? One of the accomplishments, yep, I said accomplishment, a done deal, is that the COP26 United Nations, the Blue Helmet people, passed a global, did you hear what I said? Passed a global carbon tax on the world's corporations. You think that might affect a shitload of employees that work for corporations worldwide? Think they got to vote? Did you get to vote? But you guys just might be thinking, who cares? That don't concern me. Well, perhaps you guys are not thinking globally. And I told you need to start thinking globally. The fact that you don't work for any or all of those corporations affected is a dangerous thought process. Have you forgotten you were a consumer in the old world economy? Did you already forget what I read to you earlier from the Gfanz website? Do you understand the definition of the term every? The fossil fuel, quote-unquote, industries, coal, big oil, and even big pharma, because so many drugs come from fossil fuel derivatives. I say fossil fuel because I say fossil fuel is bullshit. And they're going to have to face serious issues stemming from the earth-shattering declaration coming from COP26. And big oil and coal will be obsolete within 10 years. Oh, man, don't doubt me on this, people. California is banning anything from vehicles to lawnmowers and chainsaws that run on fossil fuel by 2030. Can't happen here, people. Won't happen here. Is happening here. It may surprise you how dependent we are on the spin-off products made by the synthesization, I hope that's a word, of fossil fuels. And plastics are a small part. Just saying, people, think about it. Look around you. Much of the stuff you're seeing comes from oil. Now, some of you might be tempted to say, come on, Dave. Get serious. Big oil, big pharma and coal, and the big three auto companies. Dave, you have any idea how much lobbying power and influence those dudes have over our Congress? You think you got me there, huh, people? You think you got me on the run? Ooh, yeah, you got me, all right. Please consider this. 1, this is a global finance, immune from acts of Congress and edicts of Congress. 2, it is already a done deal. It ain't going to happen, people. It's done. The deal has been signed. The powers to be are committed in a carbon zero new world economic order. In short, it's water under the bridge to even discuss it any further. But, and 3, who do you think owns the corporations? See, you didn't pay attention to my earlier videos. For if you had, you would know from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, the Big Daddy Fed Bank of all the 12, in their publication, I bet you thought. Here it is, a quote right from their publication. Commercial banks create money by monetizing the debts of businesses, individuals, and governments, unquote. Now here's a dumb question for you people. Are big corporations businesses? Well, if you say yes they are, well then they fall into that quote, do they not? They certainly do. And if you have the power to create money, almost any amount of it, who and what can't you buy? Okay, now farmers and ranchers, please, 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 please pay attention here. They don't like the way you do business currently. You create way too much carbon output. Yeah, sorry man, your cattle got gas. And you are very dependent upon the big oil industry and the chemicals. Where are you going to get your chemicals, people? Fertilizers, the herbicides, the pesticides? Are you shopping for next season? I think you might want to look into it. You are scheduled for elimination, farmers and ranchers. And don't think that this will create a food shortage. No. No, the reduced world population, the 500 million super slaves, will eat lab-created meat, bugs and worms, and GMO super plants. They won't have to worry about feeding the remaining 7.5 billion of us, for we will be eliminated. End of our story. And does that suck? So, how is Gfanz and the World Economic Forum going to pull this off? Easy. They just passed, and I said past tense, a global carbon tax. Done deal. The ink is dried. And what is the percentage rate of said tax? Hey, ready for this? Whatever they want to set it at to accomplish their stated, literally cut in Georgia stone plans. Ranchers, just for example, you have $1,000 per head cattle. Just an example. I didn't say that was the right price. What are you going to do with 100% of market value global carbon tax, people? What are you going to do, huh? Tell me. The second way, and this is the sneakiest way, is to control the lending. You want to borrow investment capital? Sure, no problem. What are you using it for? I think I wanted to be a wildcat explorer in the oil fields of North Dakota. You know what? Sorry, buddy. We don't lend money for oil exploration in North Dakota. We don't lend money for tractors and combines either, so don't go that direction. It doesn't fit our zero carbon plan. And we are committed. You know what that means? That word means committed. Too bad. So sad. And it's totally removed from any government interference or regulation at any level in any country. Well, gee whiz, Dave, you know how many people this could affect nationwide? I sure do. And you're catching on if you ask that question, people, because our masters don't give a rat's ass about us. Never did, never will. We are obsolete, useless eaters. Learn the New World Order motto, people. We will own nothing and be happy. But the part they're not telling you is that only applies to those who survived their purge, and they're coming at all directions. Serious shit, people. Again, Team Evil is telling you what they are doing and going to do. Face it, they aren't done with us yet. By the way, I recommend you check TrueNews.com, TRUNEWS.com daily. Much of my audio is based upon what they covered in yesterday's show. Check it out and see if I'm being accurate. Guess what? I got stuff to do, man.